Well, it's official. It's events and trade show season. And we've got a big one coming up here, MERTEC 2024, to kick it all off. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge events and trade show guy. That being said, if done right, they can be effective. But for me, though, I'd rather be churning out content from the comforts of my own home, driving demand and working on creative, or trying to figure out where I put the turkey. But MERTEC is an important show. Why? Because it's all about restaurant tech. It's all education, no fluff, no gimmicks. It's important for us to be there, and we're especially excited for this year's show because we're seeing another tech evolution take hold of the QSR and fast casual industry that will dramatically impact the way brands approach and utilize tech. What's this big evolution? I call it the Great Divide. Now, the Great Divide is an inflection point where brands have the means to either A, invest millions of dollars in technology to keep up with consumer demand, and they'll continue to do so as long as they're successful at it. These are what we call the leaders, and kudos to them. However, there's another set of brands that may have already invested a boatload of money into technology and frankly aren't seeing the type of ROI that they had hoped to see. They obviously can't continue down this path because they may not have the financial means to do so. It's just not sustainable to their business model. These are what we call the stragglers. Before you say poor stragglers and how will they survive and what will they do, it's actually okay because there's a lot of solutions to help them. This is where technology providers come into play, but in a very specific fashion. Brands now need technology partners to serve as an all-encompassing solution for their business and, emphasize, and a componentized one. So what does this mean? It means not all brands need providers to come in and replace the whole engine to their entire operation. Because doing this is very, very expensive for the brand, and they've already invested tons of time into the systems and are extremely, extremely hard to rip out. There may only be one part that needs addressing, all right? And oftentimes it's the area that they've been spending buku amount of bucks to try to improve anyways. This whole thing, this is where a componentized solution is the key. And for Tilster, that's what we're all about. Whether it's ordering, mobile apps, kiosks, loyalty, all of it's componentized and modular. Big fancy term, right? All this really means is that the features can be deployed faster because they are independent of other systems. They can act and operate as their own thing within your digital tech stack. It doesn't run on what we call a monolithic architecture. And all this fancy term means is that it runs off one big strand of code. But this big strand of code takes forever to update by the technology providers. And brands often have to wait a long time on this stuff, which causes big delays, massive amount of headaches. So I say all of this because the industry is going through another change, and we're here to help brands change with it. So, if you're curious and want to know more about this topic, our services, solutions, maybe spend some time talking March Madness, stop by booth number 505 at MERTEC. We look forward to seeing you there.